Hello and welcome to the Football Talk Exchange. I am your host Shubham Thakkar, and today we have the La Liga podcast. Alongside me are Aaryan Nagraj, who's a Barcelona fan, and Abhay Pai, who's a Real Madrid fan. I hope I hope all of you have seen them two on the channel before. So my first question to you guys is, Barcelona manager Quique Setien recently said in an interview, I think with the 442 magazine, that the 5 subs rule could do more harm to Barcelona than benefit them. What are your thoughts on that statement?
Yeah, I think I understand what he's trying to convey, like what his thinking is behind saying that. But on the other hand, like it's only fair for everyone in the league to have like 5 substitutions, especially coming back from such a like heavy layoff period, as well as so many like health issue. Let's not say issues, like concerns. So many health concerns on the pitch with players in so close proximity, as well as the fatigue that the players will have. Like they'll need to get back into the shape of things. So I can understand why the 5 substitution rule is in place. I also understand why Quique Setien says that, because Barcelona usually like tend to put, I mean, this will sound like a Spurs mentality, but like they tend to put like the pressure more in the second half. Like they pressurize more towards the latter stages of the game and like try to extract some kind of like mistake from the opposition and some kind of like goal from their like patient play, because like they just try to frustrate the opposition with their patient play, like that will usually result in a goal. So like that's what Quique Setien was trying to get across. Obviously he didn't have the perfect choice of words in his interview, but yeah, I think as a Barcelona fan, I think I have made y'all understand why Quique Setien says that, like, because even if like a manager decides to have 3 changes at the 60-minute mark, he'll still have 2 changes to make at the 80-minute mark, so he can still like reinforce his team when Barca is trying to get on the attack.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, even Barcelona will have fresher players late in the second half if they do decide to make changes.
True that. But it's like Barca don't have any advantage in that situation. Like the advantage that Barca had with 3 substitutions has been wiped out. So like it's a more even playing field from Barca's point of view. Like from Barca's, let's say from Barca's playing style, it becomes a more even like playing field for the opposition. Like Barca cannot frustrate them anymore.
All right. Yeah, and Abhay, coming to you.
Yeah, so I think that the five substitution rule is quite helpful for all the teams, especially the weaker teams who are just being playing after like 3 or 4 months, and like there has been a huge layoff on them based on like fitness and their stamina. So I think it's a great boost for them. And concerning Barcelona, I don't think there should be any problem. But like as Aaryan said, Barca tend to finish the game in the latest stages of the matches. So I think the weaker teams against which Barca are playing, so like they get a slight advantage in terms of fresh personnel, and I think Barca are like slightly at a disadvantage because of this rule, but not really. I mean, Barca have Messi and Suarez.
It is
who else
what
do they
it
need?
is.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I do understand that Barcelona try to wear out the opposition late towards the game, and try and get an error or a mistake from the opponent. Sorry. So, but then every team has got 5 substitutions, and it's only fair that even Barcelona use more of their fresher players later on towards the game. And I think in retrospect, it gives the manager a chance to play the academy players. Like Pig is still at the club, I believe.
Yeah, and
so maybe he could get a chance.
Till 2023, I guess. So I think this is a great stage for him to prove his worth.
I think the next set of like the next batch of wonder kids also has a lot of like potential to be like the first La Masia graduates to play for Barcelona in a very long time. Like he likes Moriba, Oriol Busquets. Like I think this vice substitution rule, if carried into the next season, like the start of next season, will mean that Barca will have like some more chances to give players from La Masia a run on the field.
All right. So coming, just before we move on to the next question, I'll promote one of my earlier videos. Before we thought that the La Liga or any other league could be back, we made a La Liga team of the season video. So you can watch that in the top right hand corner. I'll leave a link to that. Yeah. So moving on to the next question, let's talk about the title race. Just 2 points gap between Barcelona and Real Madrid. And arguably Real Madrid have a bigger, maybe not a better squad, but definitely a bigger squad. So does that give them an advantage?
I think it all depends on how the. Yeah, I think it all depends on how the players cope up with the layoff, because they haven't played for like 3 months, and some players like Hazard hasn't played for like 5 months, I guess. So he really has to buck up with his uh, playing styles and his fitness. And also, Barca have two new players like Suarez and Dembele, who have just been
Back from
deemed
injury,
fit. Yeah. So I think it all depends on how they cope up with their fitness. But like, yeah, sure. Madrid do have a slightly deeper squad than Barcelona in terms of midfield and defense. But yeah, the prime factor is the fitness of the players.
Yeah. Aaron, your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Madrid definitely have a deeper team, and it can be attributed actually to the transfer window at the beginning of this season. Like Madrid went completely ham. Like obviously they were expected to make some signings. They just blew it out of the water. Like Mendy, Rodrigo, Jovic. Like even though some of them have been hit and miss, at least they are on the bench. Like they are quality players that can be substituted on whenever the manager requires them. And especially with 5 substitutes, they'll have a more of a run. Like the one of the chances, like one of the more chances, one of
like
the probability is that they're getting a chance to prove themselves. Like coming back from the lockdown, especially. Obviously, I agree with Abhay on the point that injured players are going to have it extremely tough. Like obviously they didn't play towards the end of the season as well, and now having the long layoff, they'll have to get into the groove of things quicker. But it will be interesting to see actually how like players who were actually like very good for Real Madrid, like Benzema and Valverde, how they manage to retain their form if they do. Like that will be a major factor in deciding if Real Madrid actually, like obviously there's only 2 points between them. That will be actually a major factor in deciding whether they push Barca all the way to the title. Like obviously Barca is more prone to a slip up, as we have seen this season, but Madrid obviously with the 5 substitution rule, they have a greater chance of pushing Barca all the way.
So again, another question related to the title race. Barcelona lead by just 2 points and have crucial games pending like Villarreal and Sevilla away, Athletic Club and Atletico Madrid both at home. Coming to Real Madrid have got Villarreal, Valencia and Getafe at home, and they've got Athletic Bilbao and Sociedad away. So what are the chances out of 10 that Real Madrid do go on and win the league?
I think that Sociedad game is going to be a real test, because Real Madrid, as we know, have already lost a game to them in the cup this season. That was not like the most rotated team. It was obviously a slightly rotated team, but like they've all like Sociedad already have produced good football against Real Madrid. Also, we have seen in the last couple of seasons that Madrid tend to like bottle one of the games towards the end of the season. Like I remember the one against Betis when Sanabria scored 2 goals. Like that was an important goal in the title race that season. I think that Sociedad game is going to be very important. Obviously, Villarreal, Getafe is like and Valencia. Real Madrid have it very fortunate that they have it at home. Obviously, there is no home advantage, but like
and also we are not really at home, so I think.
Yeah. So obviously there is no home advantage, but just
team round. Yeah.
Just saying like playing at the Bernabeu, just in their mind like they're playing at the Bernabeu. They don't have to like
not the Bernabeu. It's the
Are
Di
like
Stefano Stadium.
in their mind.
In their mind,
All right. Okay. Yeah.
in their mind, they're at home.
I get it. Yeah.
They're at home. Obviously, Barca I think have harder fixtures because most of their topmost fixtures are away. Obviously, Atletico, I don't think they might grind out a draw. I don't think they'll be able to beat current, considering their current form and current like situation that they are in, with their strikers not firing at all. I think at this stage I would be very even in rating both Barcelona and Madrid's chances at the title. I don't think neither of them has the edge. I think both of them have like a 7.5 out of 10 chance to get the title.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Abhay?
Yeah, same. So I think it's a 40-60 in favor of Barcelona because of the 2 points that we lost versus Betis, like very shittily. But yeah, I think Barca have a slight advantage because of the 2 points that they have in hand. And I think those matches versus Bilbao and Atletico will play a huge part in deciding the title race.
Yeah. So, throwing it back to the transfer window or after the transfer window, do you think Brathwaite's transfer was unfair to Leganes?
100%. As a Barca fan, even I can say that it was unfair to Leganes because Brathwaite was actually having a very good season with Leganes.
Very good season for Leganes.
It was not for no reason that Barcelona of all teams decided to sign Martin Brathwaite. So obviously he's been serviceable for Barcelona, but I don't like that provision itself in the law makes no sense to me. Like a club like obviously not even a club like Barcelona, any club for that matter should be equipped enough to have at least 1 or 2 backups in case of an injury, like or they should be like fluid enough and accept the fact that they have an injury and move on to a different formation or something, like try to work themselves hard, that much harder, because it's an unprecedented thing. You can never predict an injury. So
predict an injury,
it's like it's imperative of the players around the person to not only like give support to them but also cope with it, like not go, I'll not say crying to the association, but like exploit the law, exploit the norm, not norm, regulation in the law, like
regulation.
I think it should just be scrapped. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
And more than that, I think every club, like you pointed out, should be able to deal with that. If you've not got players from the senior team, you should, I mean, there's always a player in the academy that's sort of good enough to break into the first team.
But the thing is, that football has progressed to a certain stage where like it's becoming increasingly tough to give youth a longer, like an extended run in the team. Like it's becoming imperative because fans continuously demand good results from teams like Barca and Real Madrid. So like it's very tough for a manager to drop a senior team player and give a junior team player a long-term run. So I do agree with it. Like that's a very good chance to give a youth player, especially like for Barcelona, because they are heavily reliant on youth as seen from the last decade. But I do get your point, and I do raise my point in rebuttal.
Yeah. Another Barcelona related question. Not just Barcelona related, I would say it's something about the La Liga. Firstly, the release clause concept is too popular in the La Liga as compared to the other leagues. So, what is the obsession of La Liga teams with stupidly high release clauses? Like Brathwaite's on 300 million euros release clause. Umtiti has got 500 million euro release clause, and Benzema apparently has a billion euro release clause. So why do you think clubs really do that?
I think it's just for them to stay, like keep their players away from the transfer list. So in case someone tries to exploit the release clause, like if Benzema had a 40 million release clause, then clubs like Barcelona, like with Suarez injured, they would have easily bought Benzema if they wanted to, because they have a free-flowing budget. So I think it's really to stay off the teams from buying their stars. It's actually not that complex.
Aaryan?
I think there is like two clear reasons. One of it is because I think they need to like mention to other teams and like to like send a clear message that these are our untouchables. Like
Not for sale.
All
Yeah.
right.
yeah, these are our untouchables. You cannot come anywhere close to them. Like obviously till 2 seasons ago, Umtiti was a rock like in our defense. Like 2 seasons, even last season, I would say we was decent. But like this season, he has fallen completely out of favor. Obviously, Benzema has been Real Madrid through and through since he transferred from Lyon. So I don't see any reason why they let go of him except he becomes very old and outgrows the team. So that's why I
Yeah.
think like that is one of the reasons why I mentioned it. The second reason is which Abhay mentioned in his like thing just now, his answer just now, like to fend off instant rival clubs, to
Interest.
fend
Yeah.
off their
Okay.
like instantaneous rivals, like uh,
Mm-hmm.
to avoid a
I
situation
get it.
like
Yeah.
Luis Figo, like avoid a situation like Luis Figo,
Yeah.
All right. All
because
right.
like
But
you
then again,
you can obviously have like a very good like Barcelona player with a low release clause that Real Madrid can trigger anytime because they are the Galacticos. They have all the money in the world. They'll take a talent on their team.
Mm.
They don't care about it. So like
Mhm.
it's like just to send out a clear message like you cannot have this. He is a Barcelona player or he is a Real Madrid player. So I think those are the two reasons, clear reasons why I think such stupidly
Yeah,
high.
but then I do understand your points. Very apt, the points that you've mentioned, both of you. But then again, specifically looking at Barcelona players, 300 million euros for Braithwaite, 400 million for Coutinho, and now you're forced to sell the same players. It's like you're approaching clubs ki, please take this player. I mean,
Yeah.
Barcelona have approached
They should have
Arsenal,
kept.
Tottenham, and Chelsea.
Yeah. They should have kept like a 40 million clause for Braithwaite because like after this season,
He's
I
quite
think
old as well.
he'll
Yeah.
be sold off. Yeah, he'll be sold off quite clearly. So I think at a 40 million price, like it's not too high, but not fitting for his value either. So Barca could have made a slight profit in that manner,
Profit, yeah.
but I think it's just quite dumb. Like 300 million for a 6-month player at Barca.
I think
So,
also I think I found another thing like it's also like the clubs are learning because obviously Barca put that 2 million release clause on Neymar and it got activated. So like they were like, no, we're not taking any more chances with any of our players. Like obviously that was like the peak of MSN. Like they didn't want to lose Neymar, but they were forced to because of the release clause. I think that was like a learning step for that club. So that's why they are doing
And
this.
the dumbest thing made
Stupid.
by all the clubs in Europe was they didn't trigger ZX 25 million clause on time.
yeah, I
Like
mean that's
25 million for
extremely
ZX.
surprising.
Even stupider is nobody's
Chelsea bought
spending the 50
Chelsea
million for
bought him.
Werner.
Exactly.
50 million, you can. It's back pocket change for top clubs.
Chelsea could have bought both of them for a grand total of 70 million.
Chelsea could
75
actually
million,
roll into next season with Ziyech, Werner, and Havertz.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
But I don't know what is this
it's mad, bro.
obsession with triggering release clauses. But anyway, we are sidetracked. Let's talk about the La Liga.
Yeah, let's stick to the La Liga. Yeah.
Hmm.
So assuming that Atletico Madrid historically, like at least in the past few years,
Full of
has been the third best team in La Liga,
okay.
which is the fourth best team in La
This
Liga.
season, based on
considering which factors,
yeah,
like history or
historically
current form or both or
both.
Like so, first parameter is the recent form
success in
like
Europe.
this season, and second one is over the last few years, like 4-5 years.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about it that way, I would say
we could give separate answers for both. Yeah.
I just have
think,
two contenders, Sevilla and Valencia. Like either
100%. I agree with Abhay.
Yeah. Because Sevilla have won like 3 Europa Leagues back to back, I guess.
That was actual Emery ball. So
yeah, Unai Emery was
like
gone.
Emery actually led them to trophies there. So
and
I think
they
Sevilla
beat
takes it
Liverpool.
over Valencia.
They beat Liverpool. So
they beat Liverpool as well in the past.
Yeah.
So they had a tough run. They had tough runs. They went back to back also, I think, once. So
yeah.
I think Sevilla takes it because they also reached the UCL quarterfinal, if
that's
I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
against Leicester.
when they got beat versus Man U, I guess.
In the round of 16.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did. Yes, they did. Yes.
Jose Mourinho. Sorry.
Yeah.
So all
So
right.
yeah. I think I say
Hmm.
Sevilla. Abhay, what about you?
Yeah, Sevilla.
Sevilla.
Okay, so
I
we
think
can
Valencia
mutually
is breaking
agree.
the name, but Valencia, unless they win
Yeah.
anything substantial,
Valencia,
they wouldn't.
yeah. I
Hmm.
think they lost
So-
to Atalanta quite
Quite
badly. I think,
considerably,
Yeah.
quite convincingly.
So we can
4-0 is a very bad score
Yeah,
for
we can
them.
unanimously agree that Sevilla is the fourth
Sevilla.
best team in La
Definitely.
Liga.
But
So,
Real Sociedad has a lot of potential. I'd say that, like,
Yeah, this season
Yeah.
they've been doing quite well. Yeah.
and they have a lot of young
So,
talent also.
do you guys have any other questions before we wrap it up with a quick fire round, or like any topics to talk about?
Yeah, I think I have like one question. I think out of the three teams below Real Madrid, Barca, who do you think will take the final two Champions League spots?
Wait, let me see the table.
It's Sevilla, Sociedad, and Getafe.
Yeah.
So I don't think
think-
Atletico will
so I think-
reach fourth place. I
think,
don't think they will, considering how they've been playing. But if you want to take
But
them
they-
as well, if you want
but
to
they
take
beat
them as well,
Liverpool, so I think that momentum
maybe a morale
could carry
booster,
them.
who knows? But like,
Yeah.
So before we wrap this up with a quick fire round, do you guys have any questions or like topics to discuss about?
yeah, I think I have a question. Like, I'd like to ask both: who out of the four remaining, like below Barca and Real Madrid, that is Sevilla in third, Sociedad in fourth, Getafe in fifth, and Atletico in sixth, will finish in the Champions League spots and the Europa League spots?
Oh, wait. Let me just check the standings.
So for reference, everyone, Sevilla is on 50. Getafe and Sociedad are tied on 46. Sociedad is ahead on goal difference, and Atletico is on 45. Obviously, Sevilla have an extra game played. So that's where the table stands right now. So guys,
I personally think that Sevilla will make it in third position, and Sociedad will make it as the fourth team to qualify for the Champions League.
okay.
The reason I'm not selecting Getafe is because, alright, yeah, the Europa League will be after the leagues are completed. So I forgot about that. But still, I think Sociedad have a better squad overall. They've got some very great players like Oyarzabal, Odegaard on loan from Madrid, and
Alexander Isaac,
I think Alexander Isaac. Yeah, I forgot him. Yeah.
Merino.
Yeah, and I think, so I have the same opinion. So third is Sevilla and fourth is Sociedad, purely based on their team depth and their current standing as well. And also Getafe have quite a tough schedule from now. Like, although all of them have, but like Getafe, considering their squad depth and their overall consistency of their top players, I think they will have a tough time to beat a winner of all the matches that they play. So I think, yeah.
All right.
And
And
Sociedad and Getafe play on 28th June. So I think that will decide
That will
could
be
who
a
finishes
potentially
fourth.
decide.
Yeah.
Obviously, that will obviously be an important match, and also Real Sociedad's match against Madrid will also be a very important game for them.
Yeah.
So, I also am of the opinion that Sevilla and Sociedad will make it into the Champions League. I think Getafe have a very good chance at cracking the Europa League because they have been on a very good run. They obviously beat Ajax 3-0, I think.
Yeah.
So I think
Maybe, yeah.
Getafe can get into the Champions League that way. Maybe. They
Yeah.
might not get
But
into it this way.
I doubt you've got teams like Inter Milan, Man United
Obviously,
as well.
dude, I doubt it, but I'm saying that's the only way they could get it.
Only way they could get
Yeah.
in. Yeah. True.
So none of us
I
have
think
predicted
Simeone has quite a hard time in front of him because since they beat Liverpool, they're on a high, and this 3-month layoff that might
Yeah.
have stopped some
Derailed their
momentum going on
momentum.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coffin dance meme for them. So let's go with the rapid fire, I think.
All right. So most of these players are from Real Madrid or Barcelona. So both of you try and give an unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
Sure.
Marcelo or Jordi Alba?
Marcelo.
Oh, overall, Marcelo. This season, Jordi Alba.
Yeah. Wait. So like the factors are this season only, or like the
Overall.
Overall,
like Marcelo.
overall, even I would say 100% Marcelo.
Yeah.
Firpo or Mendy? I think that it's quite easy. This
Ah,
one.
Sorry.
even I
what?
can't say Firpo.
Oh, Firpo. Oh, bhai, वो तो question में क्यों है?
No
चल,
chance.
Next.
Mendy.
Ansu Fati or Vinicius or Felix?
भाई Felix को क्यों डाल रहा है?
Oh,
For me, it's Vinicius, like purely because he has had a lot of game time, considering that Asensio and Hazard were on the bench as compared to Fati. Because on the left wing, I think Griezmann plays.
Griezmann. Yeah.
which is
So I
stupid.
think I know it's stupid, but like Fati has not been given that much game time to weigh
Really
upon
compete
his
with. Yeah.
talent. So I think
I'm going to say Rodrigo.
Vinicius.
I'm going to say none of these.
Yeah, obviously, but
He's
like
proven himself higher, so he has a better finishing than any of them. So
Eden Hazard or Griezmann?
Griezmann.
this season Griezmann, and career I also like it's a close call, but Griezmann gets it for me.
Obviously, the
Because
man scored in a World Cup final.
and
The man scored in a World Cup final. Obviously, he
But-
did Fortnite
but
dance, but
versus-
that was
but versus like Croatia, that's not quite a great team to score against. Like final hell, like
but the occasion though. The
pressure is
occasion.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, he's proven
For a change.
La Liga for a long time.
Yeah. Saul or Cruz or Frankie de Jong?
I don't think
I think
he is in that.
all of them are very different players. Like De Jong is like a box to box, and
A much
Saul
more
is like
hold-
a cam, and Cruz is like a stationary passer.
He's a very slow
he's the
ball playing
sniper.
midfield.
Yeah.
Alright.
And
So that-
Saul, obviously, Saul has an engine on him. So,
Yeah.
but I
So
would
out of
say
those,
over their entire career, I think none of those beat Cruz. So
yeah.
I don't think like
I
Saul
was like,
hasn't.
De Jong
got-
is 22, so I think he has a long time ahead
Yeah,
to.
I think De Jong
trophies.
isn't just in
And-
this conversation yet. Like
Yeah.
Correct.
not just yet.
And if I replaced Valverde with Cruz?
Oh, so you're saying Saul, Valverde, or De Jong?
De Jong, yeah.
Saul,
Alright.
much more
Yeah, for me,
experienced,
it's
much
Saul,
more
Saul,
versatile.
yeah.
Fair enough.
I would say at
Fair
this
enough.
stage.
Okay.
Obviously Saul.
The three keepers, Ter Stegen, Courtois or Oblak?
Oh, if we are going
For me,
on the
it would
past
be-
5 seasons,
For me,
Oblak-
it would be Courtois.
Oblak has won the
Ooh.
Zamora Trophy in the last 4 seasons. So I am going to say
But
only on the La
Courtois has
Liga?
won the World Cup Golden Gloves. So
I am
think
saying only
that's
since this
quite
is a La Liga podcast, I am going to say it's
Yeah, but you're judging based on their careers.
I am
right?
not
Fair
even
enough,
saying Ter
He has won a
Stegen.
CL with Bayern.
I am not even saying Ter Stegen. I am saying Oblak. Because even though he has a good defense in front of him, he is a very good goalkeeper. And Courtois is very
Alright.
inconsistent in my opinion. This season, obviously, he's been good, but he's very inconsistent. Is just my opinion.
Fair enough.
I mean, there's no point comparing the central defenders at Barcelona and Real Madrid. We clearly know which team has the better ones.
Hey, come on. Why are you taking low blows like that? Like, chill.
That was a really
okay?
bad pot
Chill.
shot.
Chill.
Suarez or Benzema?
Suarez, like career by Suarez.
Even I would say career-based Suarez. But this season, I would say Benzema.
Yeah, this
because
season
he's been
Benzema.
more integral to Real Madrid. Like he's been undeniably the leader.
Highest scorer, highest assist provider, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bartomeu or Papa Perez?
I don't think there is
I
any
think it's a
discussion
unanimous
here.
decision.
Yeah, Papa Perez spends the dollars, but he's more smart than Bartomeu.
He spends a lot, but he spends it wisely. So I
Yeah,
think
he's more smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you both, Madrid fans.
All
Modric
right.
or Cruz?
Oh.
Career-wise, I'd choose Cruz, but I think playing style.
Over a Ballon d'Or winner. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean that I think was unfair to Modric. Like he was a strong contender, but he didn't deserve it. Like he
Okay.
he won all the trophies barring the World Cup final. So I think.
So it
Yeah,
was
I
like
think
if you gave Modric one, why didn't you give Bernardo one? So
Bernardo.
Silva.
Yeah, but he won only the Nations League. No, Nations League is not as
He
big
won
as
everything
Right.
with Man City, right? That season.
the domestic treble.
Whatever. He won at least 5
In
trophies that season, is all I'm saying.
But he
EFL Cup.
didn't win the CL.
Exactly. CL is the
CL is like the
is the
main
second
tipping
biggest
point
trophy after the
to-
World Cup.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. So I think based on playing styles, Modric pleases to me aesthetically, but I think career-wise, Cruz.
I would say that Cruz is more aesthetically pleasing than Modric.
Array, no, I'm saying like like Modric has a very fluid playing style. Like
Obviously.
he's like Messi, but in Madrid, like those ball turns and those passes. I think.
He's your LM10,
Yeah, I think.
but
Yeah.
I would personally say I'd much rather watch Cruz highlights than Modric highlights. Because
I mean, that's only because De Jong roasted him once on the pitch. Like,
no. I'm not saying just because of that. I'm saying like I love to watch Cruz shoot. Like if
Yeah.
there's one midfielder
That's
I
true,
would
that's
like
true,
to
yeah.
watch
Yeah,
shoot,
yeah.
it's Cruz.
Yeah.
And obviously
in that sense, yes.
his corners, vision, everything.
Yeah.
I'd say
And his form
Yeah.
looks like he's shooting at that particular point at
Yeah.
which he
It's like he's
wants to
passing the ball
Yeah,
into the net.
ball into
yeah.
the net.
That's
Yeah,
been
exactly.
said along a lot of times. Yes.
I would still to watch. I would still prefer Luka Modric because like Abhay pointed out, the turns, the change of pace that he does, the way he moves. Like not now, obviously, but in the last few years, it's very smart, and I like the
Especially that turn versus Andre Gomez in the
Ah.
Super Cup, I guess. Yeah, I think
yeah.
that flick.
It's yeah. So I like the instinctive side of Luka Modric here.
Yeah.
So what we're agreeing on is Modric is probably the better player in your opinion, and Cruz is the more complete player. So
No, better player like the
Better
better
career.
player to watch.
better player to watch, but I think Cruz is the more complete player.
Yeah, complete is Cruz. Yeah.
In that sense, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So do we wrap it up here?
Yeah, I think we do.
Is there anything? Yeah. All right. So thank you. Sorry.
New outro. Off the phone.
Thank you for watching the Football Talk Exchange. Share this video with your friends who are La Liga fans, like Real Madrid fans or Barcelona fans. Or for a change, if you do know any Atletico Madrid fans as well.
Hashtag
your first
JP.
So, like this video, comment down below your opinion on all the quickfire questions and the other questions we've asked before. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. And yeah, there's lots of amazing content coming up when other leagues resume very soon. Thank you for watching. Stay home, stay safe.
Jai Hind.